Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Today is garden cleanup. We have to get this done. We're gonna pull all the disease stuff out and get it on the fire. We're gonna pull all the good stuff out and get it back in the compost. And then we're going to take the composted stuff that we've been doing all summer. We're gonna amend each bed and we're gonna plant garlic today. So stay tuned for that. What you got? Are you stealing beans? Faith, come here. Come here, Faith. This is my bean. This time of year, we like to open up the garden to the chickens, and they'll start scratching around in the beds, eating the grubs, eggs and stuff left behind from bugs. The only thing is we have to keep them out of the carrots because the carrots are still growing and they will get in there and eat those greens. We got most of the beds cleaned out. We got all the tomatoes pulled out. We got a couple of the bean pole trellises pulled out, and now we're just going to go through and kind of clean up the beds. And then over here in the back I have, excuse me Penny, we have back here on the other side we have compost that's already finished. So that'll be nice to kind of amend the beds. And we also have ash that we saved from the fire downstairs, and we won't put any food or anything in there until next spring. Already looks different. Looks like it did in the spring almost. Girls are finding lots of grubs, squash bugs. Poor Froggy over there met his demise. We've got more calendula blooms. This thing just keeps coming. We've had several frost nights. It's very hardy. I'm gonna pull off more blooms. We'll put it in our salve this year. I've already broken the salve out. We've been using the salve. It's great for your lips, your feet, your hands. We have a wood burning stove in our basement, so we like to save our ash. And so Michael just sprinkles some in here and I'll work it through with the rake. This is only my second year doing garlic, but we've had a lot of success with it. So I saved my largest heads of garlic. It gives us the largest cloves, and that'll be your seed garlic, the ones that you want to plant the next year. So I went to the farmer's market, and this is supposed to be elephant garlic. We'll see. I'm not sure. I've heard that it can be labeled wrong, but I saved some chestnut red. I originally bought my garlic from an organic farm just a little north of us. It's called Simple Leaf Farm, and I did go there again this spring. She labeled them for me. So I got a bag of German Extra Hardy, Chestnut Red, Romanian Red, and Amish Campbell. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna take apart all of the cloves and get them ready for planting. These garlic cloves are huge. So these are some of the ones that I saved from our harvest this spring. These I'm just throwing on the ground. They will just disintegrate. Now, one important thing is when you do separate your garlic, you want to leave the paper on. You leave the paper on, it'll help. I believe it helps it from molding. Just go through and separate all of them. Now, you can keep them separate and label them. I do not do that. Garlic is garlic to me, and I only do hardneck variety. If I did soft neck and hard neck, then I would separate them in the bed, but to me it doesn't matter. When we go for some garlic for a recipe, it's like, do we want the German Extra Hardy or do we want the Chestnut Red? It really doesn't matter to us, so we just do garlic is garlic. All right, here's our garlic. So we're gonna count these out and see what we've got. Our goal this year is 100. The very first year we did 50, last year we did 80, and now we want to do 100. Our bed, if you do 6 inches apart, will hold 148. So this is what we came up with. I counted it out. This is well into 150. I stopped counting over 100. Now there are some really tiny ones that we won't even bother with. We'll just save them. I'll probably just freeze them. But like these big ones, we'll start with these first. And then we also have the elephant garlic. So we'll put this in the ground too. So we're gonna have well over 100 garlic heads of garlic in the spring. So what we're gonna do, you don't really want to space too close. We're gonna space about 6 inches. So I know that this is 4 inches across. I'm sorry, this is 4 feet across. So I know that we could get 8 all the way across here. So we're not gonna push them in yet. We're just gonna go through and we're gonna lay them all out. Now it said, when I went to the farmer's market and I bought that large one, it said it was elephant garlic. It broke down into teeny tiny cloves. So I don't know. I don't know if it's elephant garlic or not. I'm gonna plant this. We have one more row in here to plant. So that's gonna give 100 heads of garlic for next spring. We just put down 104. So on to step 3. Okay, so the most important part is we want, see if I can focus here. We want the pointy tip up. This is where it is going to sprout. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb or our finger and we're going to push down. We want about 3 inches. Go down about 3 inches and pointy side up, down into the hole and cover it. Matt and I have this ongoing joke. Green hands, black hands. This is gardening hands. I don't like to use a glove. Was that fun? I was talking to Tater. Okay, step, what are we on, 4? Let's see, open the garlic. Place the garlic, plant the garlic. Okay, now we're on step 4. We want to make sure that we are protecting our garlic from the frost. So we're going to take these pine shavings that we buy from our local feed store, TSC or Family Farm and Home, and we're going to spread about 3 inches on top. And next spring, when the frost is all done, we'll just scrape these aside and it just kind of blends in with the wood chips and breaks down. Okay, we're gonna stop here. This is probably 2 to 3 inches. We will probably come back in a couple weeks and put down probably the rest of that bag just because it will compact down. But that's it. That's garlic planting. Now the hard part. We wait. We wait. That's the hard part. You'll start to see it come up probably end of March. Little, and it'll get bigger and bigger, and then by like the first week of July we harvest. If you haven't seen that video yet, I think it should be up here. Go check that video out of our garlic harvest. Next will be winterizing the coop. We'll show you how we get everything ready for the girls for the winter. What do you say, honey? We'll probably start working on that next weekend. Yeah, get them nice and cozy. Chickens do much better in the winter than they do in the summer. So we do not heat, but we do make sure that they are draft free. So stay tuned for that video. Here we go. Looks a little better. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beds cleaned out and 4 beds amended. We got the garlic planted. Carrots are still going strong. We still have some snow peas that are growing. We're not going to do anything about the strawberries yet. You want to keep those covered, mulched for the winter. We will clean those out and replant the runners in the spring. Along with the asparagus, we're going to leave that alone. We still have to get back there and clean out those onion tops. But yeah, for the most part, that's going to be it. Thanks guys for hanging out with me today. We finally got the garlic planted. That is something that I've been wanting to do for such a long time. It's always mid-October, end of October, sometimes early November, depending on weather, but it has been getting really cold here. So I'm happy that's in. Anyway, I hope y'all have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.